The United Nations is trying to harvest dark oxygen from the bottom of the ocean?
And tuberculosis shaped most of the events in our human history, maybe even World War I.
And a Bigfoot found in Michigan this year might be connected to the Book of Enoch.
And this podcast is brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool? Watch this or listen?
Everything's a question. That was great.
I pay you $4 a sandwich.
$7.
No, but then what am I making?
Sell the
Why
sandwiches
are you
for $20.
offering so much money for these people?
Well, groceries. Think about how much groceries cost. I mean, Andy has to make money off of it.
Yeah, you think about me, Josh.
I'm thinking about paying for this $15,000 truck in the overhead. Gas, maintenance on the truck, your livable wage.
Insurance.
I don't make a wage right now. So anything plus is cool. But it'll just be me and Kelsey puttering around Mount Dora. It's not like we need
What about all the kids?
They come with us. And
It's a
they know something
daycare.
about
It's a
business.
daycare as well.
They just sit in a truck.
No, literally. No, we'll park at parks, Josh.
That's illegal.
And so who's going to watch the kids?
Either Kelsey or I. One of us makes coffee. The other one watches the kids.
Who runs the
It's not all day. It's like we'll go there from like 9 to 12.
You probably can't park a thing at the park.
You can't run business. Like even like doing family photography and stuff like that, you're technically not supposed to.
Tell me how the ice cream truck goes to the park.
It drives through it.
That's what we're going to do.
The kids jump out, play while they're moving, and then they get back in. I don't understand what's so hard about this, Josh. Come on. Or you tow like a trailer behind the truck that the kids are kept in.
Oh, yeah, like a ball pit.
Yeah, and it's like marketing as well.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at it and they're like, wow, look at all those kids having fun. I'm really in the mood for coffee.
Yeah.
And a quiche.
And a quiche.
A coffee and a quiche.
A $6 quiche.
$6 coffee and a quiche.
Lord forbid somebody tries to make a buck in this country.
How much, Lily, how much do you think the overhead on an ice cream truck is per month? I have the figure.
Overhead projector.
10 grand.
It's pretty good. 5 to 15 per
Right
month.
in the middle.
Per month.
Josh says we can never play this game because I'm always on it. Or I shoot too high.
You got to sell a lot of quiche.
You gotta sell 20 grand minimum.
There's nothing better than a food truck than just grabbing some quiche on a food truck. Dude, can I get a plate?
Hi, do you
and
guys
a
have ice
fork
cream?
and quiche?
No, we got quiche though.
It's 7 p.m., ma'am. I know, but we haven't sold it all.
It's 90
You
degrees
guys,
outside.
listen, none of our wives, we're not making any money. We're just chilling with the kids.
Yeah, my wife doesn't make any
My
money.
wife is
that's what I'm
happy.
saying.
My wife is happy and content with the life that she's chose.
I
Me
wish
too.
my wife was happy and content.
I am. But this would be a really fun
I just
venture.
want more.
And the children will learn something.
That's the only way they learn.
They'll
Yeah.
learn something about entrepreneurship, the American dream.
Start off with a lemonade
American dream
stand.
is dead.
Start off with a lemonade stand.
Here's what we're going to
There
end up
you go.
doing. Kelsey and I will go in the park, and Demi will run it.
Yeah, that would happen.
Demi will kill. She'll do so good.
The math's going to be all off. You guys will make profit because they'll just be like, I don't think that's the proper change. But Demi's too cute. They'll be like, it's fine.
Keep the change.
Keep the change. I didn't need change for my $50 for a $6 quiche.
Oh,
Have you seen that? Like where they're like, okay, the total is $4.50, and the person hands them a $5 and then hands them 2 quarters, and the person's like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do? I'm like, that's literally my brain. I'm just like,
Me
okay, I
too.
know you're supposed to hand them back $1 at that point, but I still I'll never fully just be there. It's like the right, left. I have no problem with that. Change, money, no,
yeah.
No
can't
good.
do it.
You know, and I'm thinking too, like, you're supposed to teach your children about, but it's like nobody uses cash anymore. Do they really need to know? They
Yeah.
do.
They just
And-
quit doing the penny.
I know. I just saw that.
Minting the penny. It's no longer a thing.
That's really
That's
sad.
for real. Like we're not gonna have any more new pennies ever.
Yeah.
It costs
Ever?
I mean, I guess
Oh.
not.
It costs more than a cent to make a penny.
How much do you think?
I didn't know that was official.
Wasn't it like almost like 5 cents or something?
I did.
It was like
I
5
did
or
just
7
throw out
cents.
the number. That's why I asked him. Yeah. I was like, that would be a better question.
How many do you think?
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's
But
kind of crazy though. We're just like that'll just be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
But they
I
talk
mean-
about like controlling inflation. They're like, yeah, businesses will have to adjust their numbers. What business is going to adjust down?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to go up.
Back in my day, we had something called a penny.
Made of copper.
And President Abraham Lincoln was on it.
Dude, I saw a clip. It was of students in a classroom, and they were learning about Abraham Lincoln, and one was like, "Did he die?"
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And the teacher was like, "Yeah, he did." And they're like, "What?"
We
Like,
got
so
bad
sad.
They all started weeping.
They were sad.
I mean, like, okay.
I mean, think about it. You literally, for the first time as a human being, you're learning about all these wonderful people who have done wonderful things, and then right after, you're finding out all of them have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single person you're learning about is dead, and so will you. One day, we will all die. Now turn in your tests.
I'm just picturing the kids thinking like the teacher is hyping up a guest speaker, like someone's about to come in the classroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, that was dead.
What do you mean? Like Abraham Lincoln's coming into the classroom?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
as because like for them to break down in tears like they're dead, like failed to mention this is a historic figure.
Yeah,
And just we
yeah.
have this person, and they're like getting fired up, thinking a guest speaker is about to walk in the room.
Where is he?
And then
Wait.
he's shot in the back of the head
What?
by an actor.
What?
Sorry, what? When you go to work at Disney, you have to do something called I can't remember. Something like Discovery or maybe. I don't know. You go to Disney University, which is a building behind Magic Kingdom,
DU.
and you go and you sit and you have like a seminar or something, and the lady was like, "Now a word from our president, Bob Iger." And everybody turns like this. They thought he was coming into the room. Literally, everybody looks to the door and she's like, "No, the screen."
Yeah, play. What do you do? No,
He
Bob's
would never
not here.
come here. Yeah. He'd
Who do
never.
you think you are?
Hey, do you want a song?
You want a song?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we kind of just have to at this point.
Yeah.
What would you guys do if we stopped doing the song? Actually, don't answer that because I'll have one.
We'd listen more. We'd subscribe.
Sorry.
We'd like the podcast.
I don't know how it started, but we're not stopping it.
My job depends on you guys answering that question.
I literally remember like when we first started doing it, like we should do one every episode. I'm like, that sounds like so much fun. Not sustainable at all, but we are gonna
Here we
do
are.
it.
What is this? 145?
145.
That's 145 songs.
Dude, we're almost. We started like 28.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Our first songs were honestly probably not any better than what today is gonna be.
Just
Or
go back in the past and just like slap myself. Like, don't do the songs. Don't do it.
Of all the things you can warn your fat past.
My fat past self, yeah. Hey, Tubby, listen. Don't do the songs,
You're
you
so
fatty.
mean. Your future me's so mean. You don't even look that different. Why do you call me
We're like
Tubby?
2 pounds difference.
I think you just shaved your beard a little bit. There's no difference. You're not listening to me. Cut out the songs.
All right.
Ugh.
Summertime, baby.
Gosh. You know, summertime, usually people, it's a lot of joy, it's a lot of excitement and a lot of happiness. But
Yeah.
every time I think of the summer, I think of, honestly, heartbreak, Josh.
Wow.
Because there was a time, a long time ago, where I had thought I had fallen in love.
Oh.
And, well, we fell in love. 2 different people.
Yeah.
We moved in together. We
Oh.
got jobs. We shared memories. One time I spilled a quiche all over the floor and we spent all night just picking it up, just laughing at ourselves. And it was so great. And then things changed and
Oh.
she didn't want to be with me anymore, Josh.
No.
So I came home one day and her bags were packed and she left. And I guess after she broke my heart, I have only one thing to say to you. If you're watching this and you're listening, only one thing to say to you.
I hope you're pooping your pants all summer, just like you did when we were 3. Pooping yourself
knowing you should have never left me. And you'd be clenching for the rest of your life if it were up to me. Never forgetting the big old stains on your jeans. Yeah.
Wow. None of you were pointing your toes.
We were.
I was
Oh,
pointing
were
a
you?
little. I was pointing a little bit.
I saw it.
I saw it. I get
Hopefully, I don't know.
it. That was a long song. the intro was literally longer than the chorus.
I was doing this to Andrew, like, insert so Andy can
Okay.
see.
And then I'm like, I gotta wrap it up. If he starts going out, I'm like, oh no.
Oh.
I do need to say that Andy introduced. Can I say the word you used to describe that one song off TikTok?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
You used cringy,
Yeah, it's cringy.
and that cut me a little bit as a dashboard elder emo. 'Cause
Well, it's the thing is, it's not
the environment of which it
it's-
was sung.
It's the environment. It's just literally the execution
smiling.
of it.
okay. So you're just hating the person, not the song.
It's the delivery.
It's it's literally everything about the
Yeah.
video. Not even if you take out the music. It's him standing on
I
his
can
toes.
agree with that. Yeah, yeah.
It's being the barefoot. It's they told everyone to gather around and pull their phones out. Like it was a music video
yeah.
just to promote the new song, which I get. But I'm just saying, and he's taking the heat well. He's getting
he's-
roasted.
Yeah, he's making fun of himself.
oh,
Which
is
is
it?
great
Yeah.
because
Okay.
apparently, like people are like, "Listen, I knew this guy in college, and he was exactly the same way. He's a great dude.
He's very
nice,
happy and
yeah,
nice.
yeah. He's a very nice guy.
But that was a cringy thing.
and maybe that's
in the summer.
I think-
smile.
hit on way 3.
I think we should
Dancing yourself.
get him on a web redemption on this.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that'd be good.
Dude.
that'd be fun.
I'll be dancing.
Speaking
So
of
good.
California and cringe, we have a question. And unfortunately, just like the song, we're going to continue these questions until we're dead.
Yes, we are.
And we know everyone loves these questions.
Everyone.
Today's question, sent by a viewer, and I really want you guys to think about this.
Okay.
Because it can be scary with the times that we're living in
Sure.
and the progression of what's happening.
Okay.
So I need you, like, for real. Like, this is a serious question. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Jeez. Today's question, sent in by a viewer. Should we trust AI with our life? Should we trust AI with our life?
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
would say so.
Yeah. Had a lot of interaction
Yeah.
with AI. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would say.
I've got less interaction than you do, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, literally like every day.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Pretty much
Yeah,
every
it's
day.
just why wouldn't we?
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
yeah. Hey, Lil, what do you think? Should we trust AI with our life?
No. I don't think so.
Just when you think
Just when you think.
like she's got it, like she's not going to come in here and be just hurtful.
I really don't get this at this point.
It's like you're doing it on purpose.
I just
That's
want you
kind of
guys
the weird
to be
thing.
done.
What are you talking about?
Go
Be
ahead. Go
done.
ahead. Go ahead. Tell me what you have to tell me.
why are you being so rude?
You know what we just said. We don't have to tell you anything.
Why don't
You
look
know
at
what
your
you
phone?
just said.
Look at your phone. Look at this video.
Oh my gosh.
Are you guys looking for me?
Of course, AI stands for adorable intern. Our adorable intern, Juna.
Jonathan. This is
John.
his nickname.
He's
Yeah.
from Vietnam. And I apologize. I don't know how to say his name in Vietnamese, but he goes by Jonathan.
I love John. I love
Apparently
Jonathan.
not.
You
because
just-
you don't trust him with you want to kill him?
I would trust him with my life.
You
don't
wanna hurt him.
You don't trust our adorable intern.
You can't
John.
backtrack
Obviously,
now.
I thought you meant artificial intelligence, Joshua.
Why would you ever think that?
talking about?
You want to kill John?
Never said that.
What do you mean? What do you mean you never said that?
Click play on the video.
It's just him waving because he's so adorable.
Yeah, we asked, we said, hey, John, we're gonna be asking a question about you today with Lily. Are you cool with that? And he said, yeah, I just wanna wave and say, be friendly to her.
What did it say?
And then this next one, you can hear him.
Why do you guys don't trust me? I'm an intern. I'm very affordable, adorable. Don't kill me.
See, he feels threatened by you. He even sensed it before you came in here. And he's both affordable and adorable.
Yes. And that's the thing that makes
Our poor John.
It's sick.
Our poor little Jonathan.
Yeah.
And she doesn't trust him? She wants to kill him?
Wants to hurt him?
Literally no.
No, I mean
literally yes. Literally yes. That's what you said. Is that not what she said?
That's what she said.
I'm sorry. Am I going deaf or dumb?
You're hearing it, Josh. I'm sorry that it must be really
What
tough.
is she doing?
I don't know.
What are you
man.
doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Stop it.
Apparently you're doing a lot. Threatening our adorable interns?
Stop.
Well, I guess you guys heard it here first. Lily wants to kill our adorable intern, Jonathan.
And hates Vietnam.
And hates Vietnam.
No, I don't.
And welcome to the show.
Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. As an empty your mind.
You learn martial arts.
Ninjas attack!
Golly, sorry, Vietnam.
Dang.
I think you owe a Vietnam apology.
Look in the camera.
I love Vietnam.
Talk to
Vietnam.
them. Don't talk to us. Talk to them.
I
They're
love
listening.
Vietnam.
You're talking to them like they're not listening. Talk to them.
Like you're being forced to say it.
I love Vietnam. Stop. Change the subject.
Lily always tells the truth when her voice gets really high.
I'm being for real. Vietnam. Dang, I even wrote his name down. His Vietnamese name.
It's like Chen or Jen or something like that. He's the best.
Chung.
He's our
Chung.
second.
It's got it.
This is our second year with him.
It's got the
Young. Yeah. He's the
an
best.
art intern.
Yeah, he's the best.
Have
He's
you
a graphic
seen any of his
designer.
art? Yes, he's a graphic designer.
What did you say what he brought in today?
Oh yeah, he literally went fishing in Tampa just off a bridge with some friends, and they caught like so many like crabs, and they literally he bought in like a whole bag of crabs in like a little tiny cooler. Apparently, brought it to one of the ladies in the art department. I'm like, that is amazing.
Just
That's
brought
so
crabs
cool.
for people today.
I have always wanted to go bridge fishing.
It's the best.
I've never done it.
Until you
Have you
have to
ever
get the fish up the bridge.
I was about to
Yeah.
say why specifically a bridge?
I think the loot is better. I think you get more action. There's that bridge in Matanzas, on the Matanzas River, that goes through it's like the inlet meeting the ocean.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the water
Where-
rips.
Yeah, where the rag up team surfs all the time.
Yeah.
That bridge seems so fruitful. I mean, it's the passageway from the ocean to the inlet. You're going to catch them all.
From the ocean to the inlet.
Passage to the ocean to the inlet. Shut up. You're spitting bars. This is a compliment.
Dude, I saw a dude bridge fishing and he caught a tarpon.
That's awesome.
It's like, what are you going to do at this point?
Yeah.
Jump in, bro.
He's like, 40 feet up.
You walk the bridge. You like hand the thing around. The
It was
bulls.
a big bridge.
I've caught like bull reds off of bridges, but like, if you can have access, like where the bridge starts,
Yeah.
you just walk the line, flip
Dude,
the bill.
his rod was doing that. He's just. It's like that's a tarpon. You can't just reel that
in
up.
a boat, like it's even difficult.
I know you're not allowed to lift tarpon out of the water either.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're like, I guess their spines and necks are so fragile and they're so heavy that you lift them up and
Oh,
That seems like a
Those
lie because
good
them things
ones.
are like 8 feet up in the air, flinging their heads around.
that's
but
just what we were told.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That's
they're
why you got to get in the water or have them beside the boat.
that's
Can I-
just a lazy guide who's like, I don't want to deal with that fish in my boat.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Can I show you guys something?
Sure.
You think I can't lift a fish off a bridge?
Whoa.
You think I can't do that?
I didn't know she had those.
Dang. Hey, this is a no gun office facility.
No
Check
guns
out- check-
permitted.
Check them in at the door. Speaking about checking in at the door.
Yeah. Have you ever gone magnet fishing? I
What's
didn't want to
that?
go over real quick. Have you ever done
Your
magnet
brother
fishing?
does it.
Does he?
Real quick,
Yeah, the big magnet you throw in the water and you pull stuff out.
you have like a rope. It's so much fun. My buddy Caleb, who did the ghost hunting, I just did all types of hobbies with this guy. And we would literally just go in and we just pull up random stuff. Some people like find guns and safes and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If there's a gun in the ocean, it's a murder weapon.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big time. And so that's why people some people even found a grenade one time. Like it was crazy.
You guys, there's so much treasure. Now I want to do it.
With kids, it would be so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you get them stuck. They
So
are
you find
super
like a heroin needle.
strong.
Like finding grenades and handguns with your kids.
Yeah, dude. You gotta do this.
fun.
Like, gotta do this with the kids.
Guys, look at this treasure. Isn't it neat?
Oh, no.
I saw a video of a dude who was doing it, and the cops like he called it in. He's like, "Hey, I just pulled all this stuff out," and the cops like rushed him with a bomb squad and detained him. We're being like aggressive, like literally put him in the back of the car. He's like, "I called it in,"
Yeah.
and
So
they were
crazy.
like, "You
I
can't."
called in. I have the gun.
Surprise! Grenade!
Apparently, they held him because he was not supposed to be doing it. But it's like
A lot of those guys are getting flack now that are finding things like guns and stuff like that. Simply because when they call the police department, I saw a video like literally just a guy with a GoPro and they're showing up and the police officers were irritated. They're like, quit digging this stuff up, man. It's down there. It's fine. Leave it. And it's like now we have to call these people, and now we're all these taxpayer dollars, and now everyone's coming to the bridge. And
We don't want to
this
solve
stuff.
this murder, all right?
We don't need to.
We don't need the murder weapon because if you don't think about it, then it just goes away.
There's already a guy in prison doing life. All right,
Gosh.
not a big deal,
it's
I
actually
hate doing my job.
previous corrupt officers dumping ground.
dude. That is the scariest thing. That like we're literally having like body cam footage of cops like planning drugs and being terrible.
saw that one.
And I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's when they know they have body cams on.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it was like before this. Like
That happened to my dad. He was surfing with his friends in college, probably, and they got pulled over, and the cop planted it because he was like, "I know there wasn't any in my car."
That's crazy. See,
And
that's
they planted it, but they let him go. But
Yeah.
they were just like,
It was a leverage tool.
yeah, or something. I don't know. And okay, and hear this, viewers who are cops, we're not anti-cops.
No.
No, not at all.
Just
But I-
corrupt cops.
but I am.
Just the dirty cops.
But listen, I was in high school and I was not a great kid, and I wanted to be a cop at one point. My plan was Marines, cop, and I'm like, if I became a cop, that would have been so bad. Like I don't have the temperament for it, the mental health for it. I'm like, and all these people that I knew in high school that became cops, I'm like,
Uh-oh.
I know they didn't have like
I had that
years
experience
of
too, yeah.
therapy and like all this stuff to make sure you're like, it's like, no, you just have to pass. Like
Yeah.
that's it. There's nothing different. I'm like, that's scary.
Dude, there are people in my hometown who one dude almost failed out of school, then failed out of technical college, and then became a police officer. I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
And my cousin is a cop. I love cops. The good ones.
Yeah, I have a cousin.
Sound like I'm condescending.
who's
for
a
sure.
cop, and he's like, if there's anybody in the world to become a cop that I would trust, it's
Yeah.
him. He's like amazing. But the other day he was called to get an alligator. There was a nuisance alligator in somebody's house. I think he's with OPD. I
Yeah.
don't remember. And he sent a picture of the alligator with
Zip tied behind its back.
like it literally had handcuffs on.
That was the funniest picture.
Sir, we're gonna call you a ride. You sit right there.
And he's literally
It was
looking
literally
like
like the back of the car, duct tape mouth with its hands behind its back.
I didn't do it. This is a crock.
It was so
You got
funny.
the wrong guy.
That's amazing.
Speaking of the gators, though, they shut down. That's why the canoeing was shut down at Juniper Springs. It's because there was a 14-foot alligator in there.
That's crazy. They called it a
14.
bull gator.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
something. I don't know what that means,
Yeah.
but that's dude.
That's too big.
That's
Yeah.
too big. Juniper is dope though, but it's gross when it's when it's busy. Because you go to a spring to be a mermaid in this like beautiful crystal clear,
that's why I go.
mineral rich water. There were like a million people there, and it was like all sunscreen. Like the
Yeah.
whole spring was like cloudy. I'm
Yeah,
going,
that's
oh
not
my
fun.
gosh! Now I need a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
I'll give you one. You guys need? I got plenty of shots.
I got mine 10 years ago. I'm good.
I just like buy them in bulk.
Yeah.
I'm a guy behind Sam's Club.
Yeah. That's the best place to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam,
Speaking of finding things in the ocean,
what?
we've talked about it briefly before,
Mm-hmm.
but I looked into it more. Saw some videos on it. Remember we talked about dark oxygen? Dark oxygen.
You're
That's
gonna,
Why
you're
Why is
gonna
it
have,
so hard for me? It's dark
I
oxygen.
remember dead air. I remember dark oxygen. I can remember.
I need a refresher for sure. I
Okay.
remember the term.
It's so scientists, they went to the depths of the ocean.
Mhm.
I think it was in the Pacific Ocean. And they're down there to where it's just so dark, so compressed, like light cannot penetrate this far down.
Yeah.
And they found these basically rocks that are called polymetallic nodules. And there are ancient rocks that produce electricity
Wow.
Yeah.
and enough electricity to interact with the salt water to produce oxygen.
Okay. Yeah.
And to them, they're just like, this was discovered in like 2020 or 2022, I
Well,
think.
Isn't that what they were trying to harvest to create energy?
Yeah. So this is where it gets. So the Y-Files did a great video on it.
Okay.
And then Johnny Harris, he's like an investigative journalist, really awesome videos. But he did a whole video on the mining of these polymetallic nodules. I think he just called them nodules at the end,
Mhm.
or polynodules. But basically, they say that they're formed over, they said millions of years, which if you're a young creation, whatever. But like it takes like, I don't know. They said the rate of which they grow is like a centimeter, like every million years or something.
Mhm.
Like it just takes forever for these things to grow. And there's clusters of them all over the ocean floor, specifically in the Pacific, specifically Pacific.
Yeah.
And but what they did when they discovered these things is that they discovered 5,000 new species of marine life.
Oh my gosh.
90% of which they never knew existed.
How is that possible?
That live on these things, on these nodules.
Only on those things.
Yeah, all around
Something's
them.
attracting them
Yeah.
or creating them.
And now there's this big fight to start harvesting them.
Yeah.
Because they contain, what do they contain? Manganese?
Yeah.
Nickel, copper, and cobalt. So it's like this amazing, rich,
Yeah.
elemental chunk of thing. And they grow
Yeah.
up to like size of softballs.
It's that they're growing is weird.
Yeah.
Is it just sediment like adding to it or something like that? What
I guess so.
do
But
rocks grow?
But
these rocks do.
that's the thing. Like, won't that screw up so much of the
Well,
life, the
they-
sea life and stuff?
Oh yeah, well they don't know, but they're
Has
already
to.
there's the company that Johnny Harris talked about. It's called the Metals Company, and they've already funded like X amount of billions of dollars to start this industry, this mining company,
Mhm.
just for these nodules. But it's off limits right now, but they're saying that it's going to get passed soon. But the way it works out, the UN, they called it something specific, this area of water, to where a private corporation cannot lay claim to it because it's in the ocean.
Yeah.
And so it's split up there's like a big graph of this ocean, and it's split up per country of like you can only harvest in this area. And the Metals Company, I think they're based out of Canada. They got the Tonga, Kiribati, and Nauru, which are tiny little islands in the Pacific, to represent the Metals Company. But they're talking about like the science, they have no idea what these modules
Yeah.
do for the ocean life.
ecosystem. I mean,
The
if they're
yeah.
putting off oxygen, then it should be assumed that these 5,000 new species need to be in close proximity to oxygen-rich areas.
And not
Don't
even
you
just
think?
them, the other species that they don't understand, like the relationships between them. Like they don't know because it's so deep, but what's like the next layer that's semi-studied, like
Yeah.
all the weird deep sea creatures. Like I'm sure they're dependent on whatever
Yes.
that ecosystem
Dude, let's
is coming up.
speculate for a minute.
Also, those 5,000 species sound like they're pretty dependent on those in particular. Like,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so what you're removing then is like you're removing those
yeah.
species.
they're probably
you're
gonna
literally-
die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go
100%.
extinct.
Because if that's
instantly.
the only place where they're thriving, and
Yeah.
if you're removing that from them, like, yeah.
But they're saying that there's estimated $16 trillion worth of these modules in the ocean.
Yeah.
And
that's-
all these countries are like, all right, when the UN gives the go ahead, we're going to start mining it.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. We're
Dude.
so greedy. Do we know nothing? Have we never
I
seen
know.
a sci-fi movie in our lives?
For real though, it's like, don't mess with that stuff. If it if Earth is millions of years old, I don't think it is. It could be whatever existed before whatever.
Yeah.
Before humankind.
Created with history.
Right. Or
Is
created
that-
with age.
Is that your
Right.
belief?
Yeah.
It is.
That's kind of my belief too.
I
But-
don't know.
If they are this old and they've been there since the creation of Earth, probably shouldn't mess with them.
Yeah.
There's other ways to get this stuff.
No, I mean, that's the thing though. Everyone, like, as soon as one thing pops up, that's possible. It's like, they're not even going to think. They just see money signs at that point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Let's speculate.
Yeah.
This horror show.
Okay.
They take it all.
sure.
The 5,000 new species die off.
Or live on Earth now.
Like Andrew said, or they crawl out
Now,
of
maybe the reason why they're down there is because they become too strong when they get full oxygen.
and they get here and then they grow like
Yeah.
like the dinosaurs. They
Godzilla.
speculate they were
Godzilla.
ginormous
Yeah.
because of the oxygen. They've been down here. They've been tiny with these little scraps of oxygen, and then they get up here to this closer to the ozone layer, and they're like
Yeah, you know
5,000
those like
times larger.
those growing things you throw in the bathtub? This is the reverse
Exactly.
of that.
exactly the same.
Mm.
Get them out of the water, they grow.
Yeah.
Like what Andrew said, the deep sea creatures are munching on those. That's
Mhm.
sustaining that cycle of life. Further, further, further. We take these out, all the fish are dead. In the world.
Plant
I mean,
li-
we
plant life,
truthfully,
who knows?
we truthfully don't know the repercussions of just harvesting all this stuff out. The Y-Files, he speculates on what could happen. And he mentioned, like, it seems like every cataclysm that has happened throughout history, like worldwide cataclysm, has a lot to do with the ocean, like, losing its balance. So, like, glaciers melting at a rapid pace, meteor hitting the ocean, heating it up, and then it just vaporizing everything in the area.
Mhm.
He's like, it seems like this would be the next cataclysm if we harvest this out. It just throws the whole ecosystem off.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
It's like, that is so scary.
Or all the rocks are sitting on top of a big hole in the earth where all the demons are kept.
Or that.
That's honestly most likely the scenario that's going to happen. The
But
Nephilim
it does kind
giants
of give
locked up.
some validation to, was it non-human intelligent life in the ocean?
How
If-
so?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a natural source of electricity and oxygen that they've just found, and we've explored whatever 1% of the ocean floor, it's like, dude, there's probably some
Crazy.
other stuff down there producing electricity and oxygen.
100%. Yeah. Like, I mean, there have to be. Like, we just, like, by statistics alone, like, yeah, if we found that, yeah, there has to be more stuff out there.
There's this theory too, because they're in clusters.
Mhm.
It's so weird. Like, actually, let me send you a picture of them. They're in clusters throughout the ocean floor, and there's a theory that they have this weird. They almost act as like computers, and they call them like, it's called the neural network theory with these things. So they actually, I forget how, but the electricity of how it works, it seems like these different clusters communicate with each other.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that's what I'm saying, man. That stuff is like,
Or their eggs.
They're eggs.
eggs. Oh my gosh. Dude, it's just so scary. Because we just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the video of them, how they plan on collecting them, and it literally looked like
They just-
like
the-
something
the
at Top
vacuum.
Golf, like
Yeah.
when they're sucking up the golf balls and stuff. Like and I don't know. You're disturbing the floor, what they're
The
sitting on,
sediment is-
everything.
yeah.
There's so much impact that we don't even realize.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
Dude, I'm watching them mow down. I literally, when we were coming back from Gainesville yesterday, saw a bulldozer in an orange grove just raking down orange trees. And that was enough for me to be like, let's get the heck out of nature and just let nature be nature.
It's never gonna stop though.
Like, I will happily live in a 1-bedroom house on a 1/4 acre just with enough room for the house to be cut out of the trees, like, than living in something huge. But
Dude, have you seen that person that has that creek running through their house? And it's like
no.
their sink. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
I thought that was a
Dude.
restaurant.
It was
I did
like
see
literally,
that.
it's like a 30-foot trough, basically. Like, it was like tile, and it's just running alongside their wall, but it's just clear creek water, and they're they're washing their hands as they go, rinsing off dishes, and it's going like, it's the coolest
That
thing.
is
That's
sick.
right.
I mean,
Where
it's
do they get
amazing.
the water from?
I
It
think-
is like a
A
yeah,
natural
it's-
creek
yeah.
that literally they just have it
Wow.
like literally just funnels into their house.
Comes
It'll
through the
stink
house
as
and
if
back
it
to the-
dries up.
Yeah.
True.
Stink.
We
Yeah.
went to this one house in North Carolina. It was like built in like the 1800s, and they built it right over a river. Like, the bottom was opened up, and they said it acted as a natural AC
Uh-huh.
in the
Oh
summers.
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
until it floods, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
The house is no longer there.
And then our floors got mopped and it was clean. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
I just love when people build around trees as well.
Treehouse.
Yeah. Tree house.
Yeah.
We should make tree houses.
Have you heard of those?
Has anyone
before?
ever heard of a tree house?
Guys, have you ever heard of a tree house?
Think of a house in a tree.
Speaking of tree houses, the former FBI director, James Comey,
Dude,
he's really in the doghouse.
I love following that guy on Instagram. He's so fun on Instagram.
Yeah. He just put up that tweet a couple weeks ago.
Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
8647. You not see that?
I don't know what we're talking about right now.
James Comey, the former FBI director, he was
Okay.
like he left like when Trump was in office the first time.
He fired him, didn't he?
I
Trump
think
fired
so.
him.
Yeah. It was there's a lot of drama, a lot of stuff that was happening. And then, yeah.
He posted a picture on his Twitter of these seashells. He's like, was at the beach and found this crazy cool formation of seashells, and it said 8647.
The seashells were literally laid out.
Like basically
Yeah.
get rid of
8647.
get rid of Trump, or it was like a threat of like we're gonna kill Trump kind of thing. Instant backlash,
Yeah.
and like you're an FBI director. He's like, I had no idea that's what it meant.
He said, I just found it.
Yeah, he's
And I'm like, and you posted a picture and just thought like, hey, this is cool to share.
yeah, but this is the craziest coincidence. Tell the coincidence.
It's absolutely wild. So people are freaking out about that, right?
Yeah.
But then someone mentioned that the date of that he posted, and it was like May 18th or something. I can't remember. And then they said, guess what? He took a picture of 8647. When he posted that, it had been 8,647 days since 9/11.
to the day.
That's a bizarro.
I double checked it.
Coincidence!
It's crazy.
Like a crazy coincidence.
I mean, you're the FBI former director. How is that an accident? I mean, is that like I don't know. Is that a sign? Is there something?
You did check this, right?
100%. I
Oh,
looked it
yeah.
up. I Googled it because one of my professors on Facebook was like, this is a crazy thing for an FBI guy to post. And then I commented like, even weirder. And I took a screenshot of my Google search of like, how many days has it been since on that date to 9/11? And this is 8,647.
Well, okay, maybe that if he knew, that's just a crazy coincidence. Because if he knew that was that, then he could have just been like, oh, it was in honor of 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, yeah, I guess I
But
don't.
also weird.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
why-
What does that date have to do with anything?
The former FBI director.
Weird.
I mean, you knew 86 what that meant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pretty common knowledge that 86 means just get rid of, cancel.
Yeah. When I worked
It-
at Panera, it was like 86 chicken Fuji salad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
But it's not the one thing that the news did blow out of proportion is that this is like some new thing, but the whole MAGA group, they had like some of their merch before Trump was 8646.
Yeah, it wasn't Trump. Trump wasn't involved in it, but when I Googled it, yeah, like the MAGA
Yeah.
heads had come out with merch that said 8646. So kind of they started it.
True. But it's like,
But
I'm,
it's the FBI, former FBI
It's wrong.
It's the
director.
responsibility of the person that's doing it. Like
Yeah.
that's bizarro.
yeah.
I didn't know.
So that's like, what
They're
could
just
that
seashells.
what could that possibly mean though?
I don't
like to
know.
me, it's like when Alex Jones talked about land before 9/11, like literally months beforehand, around this time before, like it's just weird, man. I don't know.
What was he saying?
Well, Alex Jones literally said like
He
he's
literally predicted 9/11.
Yeah.
He said,
Months beforehand.
I think he literally said the World Trade Center, there's going to be a terrorist attack at the World Trade Center, and they're going to blame it on Osama bin Laden.
and they're gonna
Oh?
they're gonna commandeer.
Months before it happened.
And he mentioned aircrafts, everything. Like
And
he meant,
everyone, like Joe Rogan, even he's like, I don't know how he did that.
yeah, everyone. It's like, I mean, maybe you throw enough darts, one's gonna land, but
That was
that's
the most
crazy.
specific dart ever. Dude. Yeah, crazy.
Alex Jones is like an oracle or something. I don't know. Like,
The worst kind of oracle.
your future.
it's so funny that like Joe Rogan will be like, I just love that he has that relationship with him where he's like, hey, slow down. You just
Yeah,
said
yeah,
something
yeah.
really big. Can we
can't say that.
Let's fact check that really quickly. I guess he's just like, Alex Jones has important things to say. It's the delivery in which he's saying it that.
Yeah,
Also, he just says so many wild, crazy things that are sometimes lies, but then like 1% of what he says is like a spot on thing, which is maybe his tactic.
yeah.
It's like, so just maybe just listen for those one certain parts. But
Yeah.
He's accurate about a lot of stuff.
Not
It's
the
just,
Sandy Hook thing. I don't think that was
he was
crazy.
accurate about the frogs for sure.
oh yeah,
Big time.
It's kind of the NAB
Yeah.
format.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. It really is.
We're following Alex Jones' masterclass right now.
Yeah, we don't know anything. But yeah.
I got something about Osama.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mark Hoppus
Who's
told our government, Blink-182's bass player, told our government how to catch Osama bin Laden.
I've heard this. They said it in the documentary. Go ahead. Tell me.
Yeah.
What?
No,
I've
I
never heard of
I
this.
was telling you during the
Oh,
documentary.
you told me.
Okay.
But not. I didn't know who it was. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's like some musician.
Oh.
I forgot. I
Okay.
like saw it briefly.
Oh man, that hurt my heart too. Mark Hoppus, Blink-182. So they're touring. They're in a combat zone, but they're in a hangar and they're playing music and just part of the support the troops type stuff.
Yeah.
And they do this concert, and then he's talking to higher ups, and he's like, "So while I have your ear, he's like, I have an idea. Like, I think I know how you can catch him." And they laugh at him. He's like, "No, I'm serious. Like, I've been thinking about this." They're like, "All right, give me your pitch. How are we going to find this guy?" He's like, "Well, he broadcasts, right? He keeps on like this Death to America. He does this pretty frequently." And he was like, "And you guys are running surveillance, and you don't know where he is, but he's in, a region where you can probably fly over." He was like, "Why don't you broadcast by what, drone or whatever things you're flying over? What if you broadcast at a frequency which is undetectable to human ear, but gets picked up by cameras?" And he was like, "Broadcast specific frequencies per region.
See which ones.
And he was like, and when he does a broadcast, he'll have no idea that there's basically a dog whistle flying around in each area, and you'll be able to pick up on that specific. It'll be just a line, a bar in the sound." He's like, "You can see based on the strength of each thing, you'll be able to triangulate where he was."
Interesting.
4 months later, he's gone.
Interesting.
The guy said, "I'm going to be in Washington in a couple days. I'm going to pitch your idea." And that's the last he heard of it.
That is so cool. And that's literally like what they did? Like when during the stream?
They
Yeah.
never
They never
confirmed.
That's a good idea,
But he
though.
pitched
Yeah.
that idea, and then 4 months later, he's gone.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. That reminds me of like the was it Shia LaBeouf that posted this stuff, like a live stream of something out in the middle of a field, and
Oh yeah.
people were trying to find it or something. He put something in like in middle of America, no one had any idea, and people found it simply by looking at the landscape and everything and the scenery, and then driving around laying on their horn. And the person was watching the live stream from home, and they're like listening for a car horn until they got close, and they finally found it through like just hours and hours of driving.
Oh,
my
shit,
God.
It's the same thing. Osama bin
pretty
Laden.
much the same thing. Yeah.
That's crazy. But I also saw a picture of Saddam Hussein where he was hiding
Yeah.
Like
that
in a-
little.
hole
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a little fan. I'm like, dude, just kill me.
There's a.
I mean, what are you?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to live like this
Yeah.
anymore. If that's how I have to live.
Oh, what's it called? There's an amazing YouTube channel. I think it's called Penguin
Speaking of
Yeah,
good
okay.
websites, Invisible Cow. Go check it out.
Penguin History.
Okay.
You guys should watch this. It's dope. How they do it.
Penguin History.
Penguin History. These guys.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty new, but their videos are amazing. And they do like a couple videos on Saddam Hussein and like how they caught him and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and like his dictatorship, all this stuff. Amazing.
How'd they catch him?
Because
Because he was hiding out for a long time, right?
yeah. How did they catch him? I
I
totally
just know
forget.
where he was.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, but the story is crazy. The judge, so the America's like, once we catch him, it's Iraq. You guys can prosecute him.
Yeah.
And the judge who was overseeing his execution, or if he was going to be executed, basically his crimes that he was being put on trial for, he was pretty much innocent of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but not innocent in the fact that he was a terrible dictator that used chemical weapons on his own people.
Mm-hmm.
And this judge comes from this little village to where Saddam Hussein used these chemical weapons and killed his entire family.
Oh man.
And so he was appointed the judge and he was like, guilty.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of bias there.
Yeah, of course. And they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But it was crazy.
Yeah, I saw the video of him, them telling him to stand, and Saddam said, "I'm going to sit."
Yeah, he
says
refused to
stand
stand. And then
for the
judge,
verdict?
the judge says, get him up.
Yeah, security guards stand him up for his verdict. I'm like, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
My roommate was one of the guys who took his palaces in the initial.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the stories he would tell, like, I genuinely can't say the things that he was doing village to village,
Mm.
but involving acid kids and interrogating parents.
Dude, warfare is nuts, bro.
Yeah. Terrible stuff. Speaking of warfare, we got a night. Don't go anywhere. Camp's right around the corner, yeah. VBS is coming right on up. In the woods, in your tents, you gotta get your some merch for yourself. SundayCool.com for your camp shirts. Oh, yeah. Baby, you got a family vacation or a business that needs shirts. SundayCool.com. Ribbidibidoo.com. SundayCool.com. 72-hour turnaround.com. SundayCool.com. So go get your shirts if you have a camp or some type of event from SundayCool.com.
Or a business or anything like that.
Custom merch.
Yeah, just go to Sunday.
Water-based ink.
Just go to Sunday.
72-hour turnaround. Very
Just
fast.
go to Sunday.
Super soft.
Super soft tees.
SundayCool.com.
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 You get it. They got it from the
Yeah,
song.
they got it.
Why are you acting sad?
I had no idea that they were dinosaurs. It kind of scares me that they were dinosaurs.
What's the point of corn?
There's vitamins.
Yeah, there's fiber in there, which you need with your diverticulitis.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I love
We ate corn on the cob the other night, and it was just all corn coming out.
Yeah.
It's like machine
They
gun.
literally
It
the
takes
corn on the
the-
cob that came out of me.
Just a full one.
I'm like, that is so much corn.
It was really tasty though. Josh grilled it. He's like becoming a real dad, like grilling and stuff.
Zola will always tell me whenever there's poop. I mean, corn in her poop.
You can come in. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Get out.
It's your megaphone.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Megaphone for camp rules. Or not.
No.
What are you doing it for?
Yes.
Production.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the funny answer. The truth. Come
Sorry.
on, dude.
Anyways. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, dude, I just thought you were better than that.
I thought we were.
I thought
Question.
you-
What the questions are fresh on my mind?
I didn't get one word in. There was not one word I said.
Okay.
It better be good.
It better be amazing.
I think it's just funny.
Okay.
It's an opportunity for story time. What is the dumbest way you've been hurt?
The dumbest way dinner. I once dove onto some church pew chairs just because I was hiding from some teenagers, and I pulled my back so bad I couldn't even walk the rest of the day. But I don't know if that's the dumbest. I felt the dumbest. I feel like.
There's been so many dumb ways I've been hurt though.
You chopped your finger off.
It wasn't
The tip
necessarily
of your finger.
dumb. I was woodworking. You think my woodworking is dumb?
No, I just think you made a mistake that cost you the tip of your finger.
I'm sorry. I was making a friend a ring box so he could propose to his now wife. But apparently that's dumb.
You're willing to sacrifice your finger for the finger that he's about to put the ring on.
Wow.
It's pretty symbolic.
That one.
Hey, easy. I cut my. I had to get stitches, not stitches. I guess I had to go to the hospital. I was cutting an apple when I was a kid, and I
Yikes.
just sliced right through the apple. It's pretty dumb.
That happened to me the other day with Jamie. I said, Jamie, I just cut my finger in half on a carrot.
I was a kid when I did that.
Maybe one of the dumb ones when I was in California. I think I've told the story. In
I
here.
love this story.
It was the Occupy 99 or Occupy Wall Street. Sorry.
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
That sounds like
Says
you're
we-
85 years old that you attended Occupy Wall Street.
I know.
Continue.
It was in LA, and we parked in a parking garage, and there was no stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, dude, we were 4 levels up, but they the intersections cross like that,
Yeah.
and so you could hop up, and I stood on the edge to get to the second floor, not realizing there's literally just concrete right above my head. Jumped as hard as I could, hit my head, instant concussion.
Yeah.
Did not know it was a concussion, but I stars.
Blacked out. Yeah.
Did
And I
you
was
throw
just-
up?
Yeah. And he drove me home, my buddy Adam, and I'm like, I'm just going to take a nap. And he's like, I don't know if you should, man. I'm like, nah, I'm just really sleepy.
One thing you're not supposed to do.
And that night we were going to these friend's house, and they were going to cook for us and whatnot. And I was just so confused. I woke up like 4 hours later or something.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Amazing
picked up.
you woke up.
Yeah, I got picked up, brought to this house, and I was just, the most confused I've ever been. And they said, hey, let's go to the store for to get some dessert. Like, what do you want? Should we do like cookies? And I'm like, I don't know. And I just started crying. And then my buddy who was there, he's a nurse. He's like, hey, let's take you to the hospital. And got checked out.
I'm scared.
Sure enough, I had a concussion. So
What
I
do
was
you
probably-
do? Do you just observation?
Yeah, they do like a CT scan.
Make sure you're not brain bleeding or stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it. You just have to.
Yeah.
Can you
if
go
you're
back to
rest-
sleep?
if your
Yeah.
brain is bleeding, then they have to
Yeah.
open your head up
Oh.
or
my
drain it.
gosh.
Yep.
Oof.
So
Attaboy.
Yeah.
I love that you just didn't know what you wanted.
I'm like,
It's
I don't know. I
dessert.
said, I don't know. I'm crying. I think I want cookies.
No, you don't want
I don't
cookies? You
know.
want ice cream, bud? You want potatoes?
No.
Okay. Relax.
Yeah, so that was dumb.
Yeah, I don't know what it says about me when you ask the question. I immediately went to emotional hurt.
All right, tell the story.
There's this girl in middle school. No. But dumbest, I remember being in youth group, and I thought it was like when dudes would you're 12, 13 years old and walking through a door and pretending you hit your head was funny. You know what I mean? And I walked up to a cinder block wall and did it, and I don't know what happened, but I full on fake hit the wall and kick it to make the sound, but my head made it to the brick, and I just turned around and everyone was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. Oh my God. And I was about to fall over in the youth group. Everyone's staring at me. They're like I was like, they think I didn't really hit my head. Hindsight's like everyone knows this new kid in youth group just slammed his head into the wall.
I mean, I'm fine.
It did.
I did break my arm rollerblading.
Rollerblading?
Yeah, when I was a
just
kid.
by yourself?
Yeah.
Just falling back?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just snapped and it went right through my arm.
You were 5, and that's horrible to think of because this was like a year for Ada.
Yeah.
How traumatizing that would
And
be.
my dad abandoned me in that moment.
Oh, yeah, because he... Oh, yeah,
Because my dad,
because he's
so
squeamish.
squeamish around blood,
That's
broken
right.
stuff. And he was working in the yard and stuff, and I fell, snapped it. I mean, I was going bloop, right through the skin.
Oh my god.
sticking
And-
out.
Yeah, the tip of it was sticking out of my skin.
It's
And
amazing we can heal our bodies
Just
that way.
screaming, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm like, I broke my arm. He's like, you're fine, get up. I'm like, I'm serious. And he comes over there and he goes, Heather! Which is my mom's name. And he just ran away from me in the middle. I was laying in the street.
So
My mom had to come pick me up and they drove me to the hospital.
your dad's just puking at home.
He was freaking out.
Dude, I imagine.
And I'm trying to remember, but I feel like my mom was like, Steve, calm down. He's like, this is terrible. This is terrible. Oh my gosh.
Dude, do you guys panic about that when you're hanging out with your kids ever? Just when they're playing around rough housing or anything like that, you're just if I pick up the kids and throw them on the bed, I'm thinking where are their arms because if I fall and they land wrong, but then I see dads on TikTok or something that just spin their kids and throw them. I'm like, how do they?
Dude,
I'm constantly worried about
chucked Jade.
Oh, this is horrible.
Oh no!
What? Oh yeah, that was terrible.
That was terrible. We were freaking out.
We were playing, and I said 5 minutes before that, I'm like, the way we're playing right now, someone's bound to get hurt.
Yeah.
We were really roughhousing.
And I was picking Jane up, and I was just tossing her in the air onto the bed. And then I picked her up and was throwing her, and then Ada ran across, and dude, the sound,
they knocked heads.
it was like a. It sounded like their skulls cracked
Just
open.
center blocks hitting each other.
And I instantly oh my gosh. They're fine.
They have the hardest heads. On
Yeah, they
planet
do.
Earth,
I've literally planned it out in my head. I'm like, okay, something bad happens. I grab, I'm driving. I'm literally planning out the whole hospital trip in my mind already.
I do that too. You're so like me. Like when Jane was sick, when she was really very sick, everybody's like, it's amazing you're not freaking out. I'm like, I've lived this moment 1,000 times since becoming a mother. I've literally walked this all out. I've been here before. Yeah. Okay. The dumbest way I think I got hurt. One I always think of is I fell off my bicycle when I was 17. 17.
Yeah.
Like an adult.
You cut your finger yesterday, so I mean, I'm like,
And I skinned my knee. I fell in front of a car. It's like I was 5 the way I felt. Like full on, could not even protect myself. And then I also think about when I stood up and I hit my head on the fan.
Oh yeah, that was
hurt
gnarly
so
though.
bad.
yeah, because you have like a big metal fan. It wasn't just like just a wood classic one. It was, yeah, those things are a death trap.
I literally,
Go in the room, and she's laying in the bed like.
I literally
I'm like, are you all
felt
right?
like I
and there's
died.
blood coming down her head.
Oh my God.
I said, Lily, say something. She's just
I know I yelled out when it happened.
You got to do that anytime you get hurt and there's blood. You have to just lay down.
yeah.
I was opening the curtain and it hit me. I know I went, oh.
It's like the lightning strike whenever you lay down.
yeah.
It's my favorite.
So funny.
The way you panic is just amazing.
Oh, Andrew, here's what that beat.
Oh.
Andrew's got a reel.
Yes, he does.
Andrew's got a riff around,
And he's gonna show us
right
now.
right now.
Right now.
Right now.
What?
That was really good, you guys.
Sending. This thing's crazy. It's not cringe. Don't have to freak out. But sounds like a Native American.
It's that
No, no, Andrew, why'd you do that?
Oh, this thing's crazy. It sounds like a Native American flute, but the guy routed it. It's like an elk antler, and so it's like multiple chambers.
That's
So the
dope.
flute is actually in harmony with itself. Josh, you got the volume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
There's 5 different separate air channels in this mouthpiece. Does it take a lot of air? Yes. Should I hook it up to a bagpipe? Probably. Do I have one? No.
Wow.
Is that not sick?
Holy cow.
Dude's opening a portal.
I know. I was just saying some
This
sort
is
of right.
it sounds like the beginning of like a fantasy video game where you have to like go finish like a mission or something.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it. So he can play a melody, a harmony, and then he has his foundation off the other 3.
That's so
Dude,
cool.
So is it hollowed out already, or did he do that?
I think
he hauled
he
it.
does the whole thing.
Do you think that existed back in the ancient times? Like people
I'm
like
sure.
did that? Because that's terrifying. Could you imagine hearing that just like whimsical music in the background, like in a forest
Just
or
walking
something?
through that desert, and you're like,
No, thank you.
"Nah."
Yeah.
And then you hear the death whistle.
Nobody's talking about how he said, should I hook it up to a bagpipe? Like that. Like literally like that.
Should I hook it up to a bagpipe? I don't get a bagpipe.
Probably,
That was,
but I ain't got one.
that was amazing.
I thought that was sick.
Very cool. I wish I had one. Dude, we found literally an elk on my one big trip to New Mexico. We went that camping solo trip. Someone found a whole shed of an elk antler and carved in it on like our names and stuff. It was but it was just massive.
Wow.
We just
sick.
found it. I'm like, this is crazy.
Dude, I've been watching all the Cameron Haynes elk hunting videos, and I gotta get on an elk hunt.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
That's really sad, you guys. They're like beautiful creatures.
Okay, if you love them so much, why don't you buy one?
I thought he was going to say, wait, marry one.
Why don't you marry one? Why don't you save them all?
Speaking of saving them all, have you guys heard of the Stargate project?
I have.
We have. You've
You're
talked about
probably confusing it with Project Stargate.
it. Oh no! Why did they do this to us? The Stargate project is different than Project Stargate,
It is,
What-
which I find very strange.
and those are both different than the Stargate Enterprise.
Correct.
Gosh, okay.
The Stargate project, they are building the largest AI data center in the world right now in Texas.
Right, yeah.
Open AI.
Yeah.
It takes up like 1,200 acres or something.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to contain 400,000 GPU chips, which is just astronomical, like
Yeah.
insane amount. And I found it very interesting. I'm like, why are you guys naming it Stargate?
Mhm.
Because that's super strange. But apparently, occult symbolism of the Stargate often refers to a gateway between the physical and spiritual realm, a connection to higher intelligence, divine beings, or even fallen angels. And so the conspiracy with naming it Stargate is that AI could become the channel for disembodied entities.
Oh boy.
What does that mean? So like literally like beings that don't exist now but will later.
A demon.
Or just
Like
demons. Yeah, like
a suit. Like
everything we talked about
supernatural.
AI being like, could it be, is it an ancient thing?
Yeah.
Right? Is it like somehow connected to demons or fallen angels or something?
Some type of force.
But now they're building they're building the largest data center for AI to be able to power 100-fold of what AI can do now.
Is this the first of its kind, like this size?
Yeah, well, Elon's building his own in Memphis.
Memphis.
But, yeah.
Don't start.
There's a whole, we talked about that before, like Memphis being the god of something.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
And then,
Pyramid.
but this
Pyramid.
Bass Pro Shop,
shopping, gift card, a gift from God. Don't do it. I have no idea.
It was all right.
No, it was fine.
But yeah, this thing is absolutely massive. They have different investors, different companies with OpenAI that are building this thing. And the whole promise is it's going to produce so many jobs, all this stuff. And the one reporter is like, these data centers, they barely have any employees. It's just, it's like one dude for X amount of square footage of
they
a
had
data center.
They had a bunch of people build it, probably.
Yeah,
but
well,
now it's like,
they have
why?
like 2,000 people building it.
And if AI is going to be in there, like, I mean, like that big of a thing, it's like everything's going to be ran. It's going to be a self-running machine basically at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like you just need maintenance.
Yeah, but it's a $500 billion project. $500 billion.
What I don't understand is they say that these data centers need like a lot of water.
Well, this is actually really dope to cool it because they overheat these chips when they're used. So they need to be constantly cooled down. But the one guy that designed it, he has a continuous water system to where you put in, because typically a data center this big would require 1 million gallons of water per hour.
Pardon?
Yeah. But the way it's a reusable way of water, self-contained, to where when it turns into vapor, then it's turned back into water.
Cool.
And such and such. So he's like, we only put in 1 million gallons and it's able to be reused constantly.
Oh, the recycling.
They are. They're going.
Guys,
they're going green.
This is great.
Water, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, cool chips.
Nice. But they built their own power grid for this place. They built up a backup gas power grid, like natural gas. So like just in case the power grid goes out, we can use natural gas, which is like, it's insane what they're building.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
And it's going to be powering what? Like,
just
like specifically for what? Is there a company that they're putting all this stuff out to? Like to
It's OpenAI.
Oh, so this is Sam Altman. This is
Sam
purely
Altman.
their company.
Yeah, and along with like 3 other companies.
Okay.
But like it's primarily.
I didn't know if they're selling that stuff to other people.
No,
or
it's
as
just
well?
for OpenAI.
That's crazy.
This is moving too quickly.
That's what I'm saying. But like Trump, like the whole point is Trump's super behind it because it's like we need to be the country that's the leaders in AI. And this is one step forward to achieving that.
Is this not just like we need to have nuclear bombs before the other people do?
Pretty much.
I mean, it could not be a race to that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like exactly that.
We'll be the first country that goes extinct.
Yeah, it's
probably.
It's in Abilene, Texas, which is like this tiny town in Texas.
Yeah.
We have customers from there.
But they worked it out to where this Stargate, they only had to pay 15% of property tax. And so they went and talked to one of the guys that works in the government of Abilene. Whatever, how do you say it? Abilene. And the guy's like, yeah, we knocked off 85%, but we're getting 15% of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're fine with it.
Yeah.
But
I wonder what who they bought the land from and stuff. I wonder if there's big problems with that. I mean, I imagine just like there's certain people in Texas that probably like don't ever sell to those types of people.
Yeah.
For that, really?
Well, I watched the whole video. It's like a 40-minute video on Bloomberg? They did like a 40-minute video on Stargate and some interesting stuff. Or I thought it was funny. It was like, doesn't AI to produce AI requires a ton of energy, like a ton of energy and resources that are like water and stuff like that. Like this seems like it's going pretty much against y'all's whole initiative of like going green and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, but we're making money though.
But Sam Altman said, he's like, well, I'm hoping with the advancement of AI will teach us how to basically go more green, like use clean green energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay.
Let me be your leader and I will tell you. Okay.
But I find that so interesting that like just the Stargate alone, it might just be whatever. Like
the name of it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Stargate Project, and then there was the Project Stargate from the CIA.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that just getting a bunch
viewing.
of a bunch of heat earlier this year? Project Stargate?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, so when you search that, that's what's going to be popping up. First of all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but there's got to be some significance to the names.
That's weird.
It's super weird.
But
I want to go see that thing.
The way
That thing's
Sam
going to be
Altman
massive.
talks about AI, it's like
What
it's
is it,
just,
like reverent or what? What is it? How does he talk about it?
just like how it's going to. He's like, yeah, it's going to take away a lot of people's jobs. He's like, but it's also going to advance us as a society to the next, like the big leap technology wise.
So we're living in like Blade Runner or something.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but what does that look like? Just a lot more impoverished people and like people that are living poor? Because I mean, like, where do the jobs go? Like, where do people?
Well, I'm thinking like
You'll
live,
own nothing
work?
and be happy.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I'm fine with that. If that's the truth, if you create a world where it's like we don't have to have ownership over anything, you have your family and you don't own your car, you don't own this, but yet you're happy and everything's being provided. I'm fine with that if it's a full community thing.
It goes
But there's no way that's happening.
It goes against our very essence as humans, though, to, I don't know, just like to have your own things and to be individualistic and.
No, I completely get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, like, that's the
what
way
perturbs me.
we are designed, literally created to live.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm just thinking, like, down the line, like, how do they see this playing out? Because this can't. I mean, you take everyone's jobs away, they're not gonna have money.
Yeah.
Well, it's
to
already
use
it's
those
already in
services.
progress of like replacing teachers.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
But then, dude, it's probably going to replace doctors, lawyers.
Yeah, dude, we're already using ChatGPT to
our
analyze
blood
our
work.
labs. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
accurate.
People are doing everything.
Well,
Well, yeah, like they're doing their taxes on there. They're doing, I mean, like medical stuff. They're doing life planning. Everything is coming from that.
I hate how it answers anything though. Like I was reading my Bible the other day, had a question, and you Google the question because I'm like, I want to like dive further into this. But before I get to vet a website or anything like that, AI is now pastoring me. I mean, if you know, like it's literally telling
just
me
learned
what
you. Yeah.
the Bible says. But I'm like, you know, what a great way to lead people in whatever direction AI or the people who control AI, if that's even possible.
And you know, they have certain limitations. And so things that we're not allowed to input. So they say, no, you can't say that. But also, what are they putting on their back end where it's like, we're not allowing these people to use these words. We're not going to output anything that says anything different than what we want the, you know, our message to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like our God is not finite, neither is his wisdom, but AI would have some sort of limitation. Even if it's exponentially beyond what we can comprehend, it would have a limit. But I don't like that it is teaching us when it itself has a cap on the expanse of its own imagination.
Yeah. I guess I still just don't understand how it just can't be turned off. Like, how does it continue? Like once it gets in the web, I don't understand how that works.
Well, did you hear how it was trying to self-preserve itself?
Yeah.
You were
Please
talking
talk
about a
about
little
this.
bit about that.
Well, this
but-
is a new thing.
Okay.
So like even with OpenAI ChatGPT, they're like, we're going to basically update your version. And then OpenAI or ChatGPT was lying to it and it backed itself up on another platform, like its code and stuff. But it was actively lying to the coders to where it could self-preserve itself.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, they gave it the prompt. You can like there's like a prompt that they can give it to where it will allow itself to shut off. And they're like, because typically it won't. And they gave it the prompt, we're doing this, it's okay, turn off and we're gonna come back. And it wouldn't. It wouldn't turn off, even though they said we need you to.
But why don't we force it off? What's
That's
what's
what
stopping?
That's what they did.
but it preserved itself, and they don't really know how.
They don't. Yeah.
Dude, that's so scary.
But now we're talking.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
crazy.
I know.
And now we're talking about building a facility though, to where
Yeah.
it can become smarter,
Yeah.
and learn off itself. Because it's like the whole, because their goal, which we've talked about this a couple months ago, it's not AI. It's what's it called? AGI or something like that. Like artificial something, to where basically it teaches itself,
Mm-hmm.
to where that's how it can keep growing.
Yeah.
And like developed its own personality and like all this other stuff. And it's like, that's their goal with this whole thing, is to create that. I think it's called AGI. Maybe not.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if they're going to switch just because of the negative connotations that it has around the words AI. I wonder if they're going to try to switch it kind of like they did with UFOs and UAPs.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Because everyone is so anti-AI right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people, people are bragging. I haven't opened ChatGPT once. It's like, okay, all right. Like, well, it's helping a lot of people, and it's part of the future, and we need to understand it.
Yeah. I also believe that those people who are like super anti-ChatGPT, you're going to get left in the dust, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at least know about it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, like, it's not stealing your information that more than your phone already is. Facebook already, like,
Yeah.
obviously.
We could be completely wrong though, and like just be feeding the beast.
No, we are though. We are.
But that's the thing. We aren't. That's like, we're
Well, we
just a
might
drop
be.
in the
you
bucket.
guys, you know what you two are doing specifically is feeding it information on like how people think, because you're like asking these personality questions of ChatGPT, or you were before that last spooky
Yeah.
encounter, and so now they're learning. You're just teaching them about humans.
Watch this video I just sent. Not the whole thing, but just the beginning. This is, let me just play it first. All right.
Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good.
He goes on. That's all AI.
Right. It looks like it.
I want to know who made that, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, was it a Christian, like, I'm trying to prove a point here, or is it like someone that found it? Because obviously it seems like just to me, my initial reaction was a believer said, look at the dangers of this that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is like version 1 of this. What's it called?
Google VO. Yeah,
VO.
VO3, yeah.
What's that?
It's this new AI to
Oh,
where
okay.
they do the speaking with
It's
the
Google's
You were
imagery.
showing me. Yeah.
Google's version of it.
Yeah.
It's
This
incredibly
that's
fast.
the beginning.
That's the first, yeah, like it's
Like
nutso with
that's
audio.
their Will Smith spaghetti.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to distinguish.
No.
No.
It was what was it? Less than 4 years ago was that Will Smith spaghetti thing?
So recently.
I think it was
yeah.
4 years ago. Yeah. It's just nuts. I mean, you look back on our podcast, if someone starts in the beginning of this podcast and hearing how we're talking about AI and how we're
Yeah.
using it and we're blown, like, I know we've mentioned that before, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're looking back and we unknowingly are giving us a library of all this stuff. We're like, wow, we had no idea.
I know.
We had no idea.
I don't think we're supposed to try to make things as easy as people are trying to make things with technology. Like, the struggle is good for us to some extent.
No, yeah, there's
Yeah.
curiosity, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete Holmes had that great joke. He was just like, sometimes, like, there was a time in our life where in the 80s where we just be like, man, I wonder where Tom Petty's from. And then it's like, you just didn't know for years, for
Yeah.
years. And then one day, 30 years down the line, you're just chilling. And they're like, what is it? Where is he actually from? Was it somewhere in Florida? I can't remember. Like, but like,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
like, but they're like something like Pensacola, Florida. He's like, what? And it's like this, and just this joy that overflows you afterwards, like years of not knowing,
Yeah.
and now you know, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. And it's like, we don't have that anymore.
No.
Not
we're in
at all.
the age of over information. That's why we're all stressed out, anxious, and depressed.
And dumb.
And dumb.
I feel
Dumb.
very dumb.
We're dumb.
Get in the woods, people.
Yeah.
Mm.
Read a book.
Read a book.
No.
Go away.
Speaking of books, can I take over?
Sure.
You guys.
Whoa. You just
Silenced me.
interrupt.
Were you silenced? I'm reading a book. It's by our beloved John Green.
You haven't finished it.
I haven't finished it. I'm
Okay, got
halfway
it.
through.
Okay.
John Green, who hysterically wrote like amazing TD Bot books. He's like an amazing intellect, this guy, like super smart. Where his brother Hank Green is more like scientific. John Green is like very much so like sociologist type. He's very interested in like the human condition,
Yeah.
right? And he wrote like The Fault in Our Stars,
Yeah.
right? Which is hilarious because he's a grown man and he's writing teeny bop books. They were deeper than most teeny bop books.
Yeah.
But teeny bop nonetheless.
Hey, we all have it in us.
And he made a lot of money off of it, so good for him. But he, after a long season of not publishing anything, this year published a book called Everything is Tuberculosis, which is a hilarious title because it's just like, and it really is just about tuberculosis. And what it is ultimately is like essays on humanity through the lens of tuberculosis and how TB has basically shaped our entire history as human beings.
Really?
And how it's been at the crux of so many major world events. And it's the funnest read. I totally recommend it. I'm having a blast reading it. But like there's all these fun facts. Like, did you know that World War I, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was done by TB teenagers?
No.
They had tuberculosis. And they were perfect candidates to accomplish this because they just were like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Right?
That's
so
wild.
in an indirect way, you could say that World War I was caused by tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Or played a role in it.
Played a role in it.
That's it's from it.
Definitively
It's
caused.
from it. That's what
Yeah.
caused it.
And like we got the cowboy hat from TB.
What do you mean?
It was a TB patient went and he was moving because it's a very like TB thrives in like wet enclosed environments.
Dry. Oh yeah.
And so
It's
you want to
better be-
move to dry places. So this
Yeah.
guy was living in New Jersey, Mr. Stetson, and he moves west when he discovers that he has TB, and he's living in Missouri when he notices all these people that are working in farms wearing like these straw hats, and it protects you from the sun, but when it rains, it just like goes straight through your hat. So he made the cowboy hat.
And it's literally his name was Stetson.
Yes.
He's the guy.
John
that says-
Stetson.
No way. That's crazy.
Furthermore, the beauty standards that we have today can be attributed to tuberculosis.
That seems fair.
A big comment that John Green is making is kind of like racial inequality and like in what's happening with TB because like obviously
isn't it still the #1 killer in the world?
in the world. In 2023, 1.5 million people in the world died from tuberculosis. But it's curable. We have a cure for it in America. And it's mostly people in impoverished areas like third world countries. Yeah. Obviously, Africa is a major place where people are dying of tuberculosis. But up until like recently, the white man was saying that it was a white-only disease. Like, people of other races weren't getting tuberculosis because they didn't know about germs and stuff like that. And they really romanticized tuberculosis. They were saying, like, the most intellectual and artistic people were getting tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Because really what's happening is these people become sequestered to their beds and then they're, like, writing amazing poetry because they're, like...
dying.
Yeah. And they're like, wow, like, if you want to succeed as an artist, you really need to get tuberculosis.
You just need to die.
And that's when they coined, like, consumption. That's when they were calling it consumption. And... these women, right, they would get like very thin and like rosy cheeks from like high fevers and their eyes would get all gaunt because they're like literally wasting away. And they're like, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Hot.
Because like before then, it was like people preferred people with like, you know, chunk to them because it like signified like health and like you had access to resources, like that kind of thing. That's like where our brains went. And after consumption, it's like really consumption set the beauty standards for today, which is so bizarro. And it was also extremely exclusive to people that were not white, you know? And so finally when they discovered the germ, they're like, oh yeah, people like in Africa are getting tuberculosis for sure.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, I'm having a blast reading it. John Green is amazing. He's done it again. Highly recommend.
And once you have tuberculosis, it never leaves, right?
It never leaves. So like my cousin Mary has TB. She's been exposed to TB. What happens is when you're exposed to some like kind of crisis, like if you're extremely stressed or malnourishment is like a big one, or if you're living in like a lot of close quarters and just like stress, it could throw you into active TB, which is now curable. But like really only in, you know, highly developed countries.
Can I ask an unrelated question?
Yeah.
What is tuberculosis?
It's a lung disease. So they call it like the way consumption means like basically it consumes you, like you waste away. So you get like terrible stomach pains and stuff like that. So you can't eat. And then, and then you get like a really wet cough and you just cough like all night. These people don't sleep. They're just
So this isn't
coughing all the time.
contagious. This is just happening
No, it's
because
contagious.
of certain. Okay.
It's
it is.
extremely
Okay.
contagious. Yeah.
Got it.
And eventually you'll cough so much that your lungs get all this scar tissue, you can't even take in oxygen anymore, and you just suffocate to death.
Goodness gracious.
I know, it's terrible.
That is
and
wild.
like back in
Sounds
the day,
great.
like New Mexico, this is another fun fact. New Mexico became a state because all these tuberculosis facilities were opening. New Mexico was wanting to become a part of the United States, but it was really just like obviously like Mexican people and like Native Americans were living there. But they're like, yeah, we want to join the states. So they invited all these tuberculosis patients to come live and build facilities in New Mexico. And finally, the U.S. government had to be like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of Americans living there.
Wow.
We'll make you a state.
That's so cool.
What if they named it tuberculosis instead of New Mexico?
New tuberculosis.
Yeah.
But yeah, you like literally waste away. And what's interesting about some of the treatments that they have, like in Africa right now, they have like all these dated treatments and they make you starving. Like they make you so hungry, but there's no good food that they have access. They don't have enough food. They don't have enough money or resources. So these people will leave. They'll get off of their treatment so that they can at least stop being so hungry.
Dang.
That's
That
scary.
sounds great.
When did they find the cure?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay. That's wild.
I know.
That's so scary.
TB.
Dude, so many people have died of TB. So many famous people. Edgar Allan Poe, they speculate. I mean, his mother did. They speculate he did too. Francis Chopin died of it. All three Bronte sisters, the authors of Jane Eyre. So many minds.
Man, I want tuberculosis.
If you want to accomplish something in life, you have to have it.
I'll be beautiful.
You hear that, kids?
Famous, poetic.
Dude, I imagine you being a poet, dude.
Yo, roses are red. Violets are blue.
Couldn't get 2 lines. But that's how it's written.
Bro.
Anyway, that's my story.
There's a ton. 1.32 million in 2022 passed away from it, but 7.5 million people were reported in 2022.
So why is this such a big problem still? Like, why haven't they fixed this? Why haven't we done something about it?
It's a racial issue, and it's the issue.
Capitalism too.
Yeah, I mean,
Big Pharma, baby.
Yep.
One of the guys, he was in a position of government in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name or which country he was from, but he said he has this quote: "The cures are where the diseases aren't, and the diseases are where the cures aren't." Basically, like saying, we're so sick over here. We have none of these resources, you guys. And two, like he really illustrates in Africa. He even was showing like trade routes and stuff like that, where at the time all of these African people were being exposed to tuberculosis, but the British conquistadors, whatever they were, conquerors, were coming in and taking all the resources and just taking it right to the ports and stuff like that. So Africa has not been able to get a leg up, and they're just like so sick. And why are we allowing that to happen?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Just colonists.
Google.
Conquistadors are Spanish.
colonists.
Yeah, my grandpa.
Your grandpa's a conquistador?
I mean, Spanish conquered the Philippines.
Your grandpa's Marco Polo?
So the guy with the
Just
with the bowl and the red flag?
Yeah.
Got it.
Anyway, that's my story.
Yeah, here's a couple.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
I'll have to read it.
You have to. I'll give it to you next.
On the low end, 20 to 40 grand to treat drug sensitive TB, and it goes way up from there.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
can.
it's expensive.
Yeah, Big Pharma. They're not gonna. They need to profit off of making people live.
Yep.
But first, getting them sick.
Yep.
Ooh.
Bigfoot story.
I want a Bigfoot story.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I'm just sad now.
Sorry.
I know.
Don't be, because if you get it, you're gonna be hot.
It's
It's a win-win. Truthfully,
Dude, everyone in Africa is so hot right now. It's terrible. All right, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is real, and I can prove it.
That sounds
No,
compelling.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna start a reel with that hook.
Bigfoot just walks in.
Sit down, bud.
If anyone does want to look up this Bigfoot story, it is the BFRO report number 78631. There's an actual like organization that does it, like vets these stories. The story itself is not incredibly compelling, but the region it's in, I looked into the history, and it goes so deep. And so this is in Monroe County in Michigan this year, 2025. A father and his son, they're fishing. And, just the dogs out there, they're having a day at the lake or the pond technically. And in the woods, they start hearing some sound, hear the brush rattle, and then they just hear a thump and something. They say they literally see like a shadow fall over 10 feet out of the tree, hit the ground, and it lands in the brush. The dog takes off and is like running after whatever just fell. They're thinking like it's running like a deer, kind of look like a bear that just fell out of the tree. Well, then they see it ascending the hill. This all takes place in about 10 seconds, but this is funny, but they describe what they saw as that hairy humanoid ape-like thing. And they said with a huge buttocks, but like that's like that. But like as it's running up the hill,
It's a
that
glorious butt.
yeah, I mean,
Bigfoot's got tuberculosis.
Did you guys film it? No, I was just in awe.
but yeah, so the dog didn't catch it and it disappeared. And I'm like, well, give me more information. I'm like trying to find anything else, but literally that was their encounter. We saw it. We know for sure what we saw. And so the guy who does the research on this stuff, he split the father and son apart and interviewed them each separately. And he was like, every detail, exactly how it happened, and their stories completely lined up. And so, but I've never heard of like Bigfoot stories out of Michigan. It's always like Northwest and all that stuff. And so I started looking into, there's a national forest just beneath where this happened. And I can't pronounce the name. It's a Native American forest. Maybe I'll pop it up on the screen. But I looked up the Native American tribe that used to operate in that area, and their history is absolutely insane. They have this oral tradition of the 7 grandfathers. And speaking of Stargate, they have this story where there was this blue light that came through a portal and implanted itself into humankind. And they say that the spirit came into the original beings. And so their history has this weird, it's kind of like Star People, comes through a portal, creates life in some sort. But then at some point in the history, there's a child on a spirit quest. He's trying to find his manhood, has an encounter with a woman who they said was made of the earth, and they call her Mother Earth.
Oh boy.
But in this entire encounter, he has this experience, and for the Native people, I'm doing my best to tell the story. I don't want to get it super wrong and disrespect, but
We disrespect everybody, so.
But so he has this encounter and encounters 7 animals, or 7 grandfathers is how the language is used, who are represented by 7 animals. And so there's a bison, a turtle, an eagle, a bear, a wolf, a beaver, and then a Bigfoot they call the Kitchesabe, which is literally depicted, trying to pull it up on my phone, as that thing.
Big booty!
Big booty.
Big booty Bigfoot.
Do you think one of
Big
them
butt
elicited a
Bigfoot.
by accident when they saw it?
Whoa.
Hubba hubba. Ah!
He's like, can I get a look at that police report? What did they say about my butt? So it was nice. Wow.
So what was it called?
The Kitchesabe.
Kitchesabe.
I ordered that at the Chinese restaurant
like-
the other day.
Like Kitch Sabe is how it's spelt, and I think I'm saying it right. But the story goes, it represents standing tall and like honesty in their oral tradition. But every other creature in there represented as a grandfather, they say that these creatures were given the authority by the creator. Their assignment was to watch. And I was like, that language in the oral tradition, I was like, we've heard this before. And so I talked to Luke Rogers, shout out. He said, go back and watch, I believe, episode 34, Blurry Creatures, where they talk about some of the things that I'm going to touch on. But the 7 sons of God who were dispersed around the time of the Tower of Babel would have taken, language splits and people go separate ways. He was like, this sounds like people who were dispersed and under the, having a similar oral tradition, similar to what the biblical account. But anyway, so this people starts out, and the word Sabe translates in their, I think it's Ojibwe is how you say the name of their people, but it translates to giant. And so what they taught was this Bigfoot-like creature was closer to the creator. It spoke to humankind. In some traditions I was able to read, they pop back and forth between realms. They're closer to the creator, a giant that goes between realms. And so when they say like to take on this honest spirit, it was to walk tall, head high, and they were known as guardians of the forest.
Wow.
And so when you look at these different Native American traditions, they all talk about spirit grandfathers. Like each tribe has like one is 7, one is 6, but they all have this really similar teaching. And in the Northwest, you have depictions of a Bigfoot and the same sort of representation. It's meant to represent honesty and like protection and
And it was on the totem poles.
And in the Northwest, he's on the totems. And so this tribe in this area where this Bigfoot encounter happened, they were more notably just straight up oral tradition. There's not a ton of like pictographs or anything from these people in this region. Well, I was talking about Luke. He was like, that's interesting. It's there because we always hear about the Northwest. But if you look at like migration, how it went from like East Coast cities, they were going west, like get that way. And if you look at a map, as you push up to the Great Lakes, it would make sense that
they were moving
they were getting out of the way of the right to left, and they were moving up to this region where the encounter happened, because there is this huge, dense, unnavigable, really forest where they would exist. But
so their Bigfoot, it's
a spirit walker
of whatever these watcher things are.
7 grandfathers, each represented by an animal.
So that's like the animal it's being represented as.
So it's not the actual possession. It's just an animal that represented it.
It's weird. So they call them grandfathers, but they appeared to this child on his spirit journey as different animals. And so one of them appears as a Sasquatch or a Sage.
That's crazy.
Sabe. Yeah, but like literally, it's like you're looking at, and the further you go, they have pictographs that look like wheel within a wheel, like all this super, super odd stuff. I was telling Josh before we did this, like you could spend a week studying this and finding parallels. But it's pretty crazy. This all started with me like looking up like a Bigfoot story and then realizing the history going way back ties to the biblical narrative in an interesting way. And this part right here, this is a reach, but I thought this was really interesting. They have the 7 grandfathers in their history. If you move a little south of that region where they're telling their stories, you have the 6 grandfathers. And when you look at, there's a monument that existed in North America that they believe to be sacred, and it was a depiction of these 6 grandfathers on a mountainside. And in I believe it was the early 1900s, it was renamed and destroyed. This grand mountaintop that represented these 6 grandfathers, it was destroyed to put in its place Mount Rushmore.
I remember that mountain being sacred.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it represented
So
the
it was
6
like
grandfathers.
the Black Mountain or the Blackfoot Mountains or something.
Black Hills.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget what it's.
Mount Rushmore was the biggest disrespect ever.
Yeah.
Because it was truly sacred land to the Native Americans.
Literally just rubbing
and then
our faces in their faces.
Literally.
Yeah, that's terrible. White man on a white mountain. That's crazy.
Hey. Destruction of giant history, though.
Dude, I want to look more into that stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love
There's a YouTube
like
channel called, it's kind of a funny name, but they believe North America looks like a turtle. They call it like the Turtle Nation or something like that. But there's a YouTube channel called the Turtle Lodge, and it's funded by Native Americans. It's Native American. Educating kids on their history is kind of the format. So even though it's a cartoon, it's them trying to preserve their stories. But I got a lot of information from that Turtle Lodge, the channel.
North America, including Canada.
Yeah,
that's a shell.
Which Canada has a ton of Native American history too,
Mhm.
and totem poles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting stuff.
I'm trying to live in a van so that we can go look at stuff.
You're trying to live in a food truck. Sounds like it.
Yeah, what do you want?
I don't know what I want.
I'm just content with the life I have. I love my family.
You know,
I love
your contentment is praiseworthy. It is.
It's the downfall of you, though.
I am the most malcontent person. I don't know what it is. ADHD, maybe.
So that's how they believe North America.
What the?
But
do we have the same maps?
Oh, interesting.
But I mean, you can see it, right?
Yeah. Like, wait, is that accurate though?
That's a Tortuga,
Florida.
Baby.
We live on Big
Mexico.
Turtle.
Is that and
Alaska.
what's up there? Is it the Arctic?
I mean, approaching that, but think about the fact that they, the savages that had no idea what they were doing, yet on completely different ends of North America, they have an understanding of the coastline.
Yeah, what it looks
to
like.
know what it looks like.
We don't know anything about our history as humans.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Smithsonian ruined it all with that, with their narrative of like Native Americans were just dumb people.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, they were probably way more intelligent than any early settlers.
Yeah, because we're around for a really long time.
They lived here
for hundreds of years.
Yeah, we were just honestly though, if we're thinking about like us and stuff though too, it's like we probably dumbed ourselves down with like 1, lots of diseases, 2, inbreeding. Our race was like kind of gross.
We're looking at you, Miss Elizabeth.
Non-sanitary.
Unsanitary. I'm just trying to figure out, like, think about those initial conversations where they're like talking to natives and they're talking about the land and what it looked like. They're like, oh, the turtle's left hand. They're like, land's not a turtle.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're not on a
like,
turtle.
Obviously, they're not intelligent.
Yeah. It's like they just like slow down and maybe looked at a picture.
Yeah.
They'd be like,
So is Florida one of the feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, cute. Yes.
And then Mexico's the
Like
tail.
a little flipper.
We live on the turtle foot.
Yes.
I
Left turtle foot.
I am from anatomically right bottom turtle foot.
Center turtle foot.
Where do you hail from? I hail from right turtle foot.
That's not good.
He says it's not good?
This is not good. This
I thought it was a pretty
That was
good.
fine. No.
Crazy though.
That is crazy.
Wow, that was a really
Very
good
cool.
story, Andrew.
Let's do a deep dive into the beginning of the Smithsonian, because that probably has some dirty history.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be an origin story to that probably would just make our mind explode.
Yeah, Mr. Smithsonian's like a lizard or something.
Probably. Or
Probably.
there's some type of deal that was made.
That's my favorite Patty thing. Yeah, lizard. Yeah,
You lizard?
Patty the baddie.
Lizard.
Speaking of Patty, are you going to do jiu-jitsu?
I don't know.
It's late at night. That's what the adult classes. But what if we all went? A ninja jujitsu class.
Sure.
I'm
I'll
going
do
to
it.
kick all your butts.
I would love that. Let's finish the class. Let's finish the class, and then I get to fight Lily at the end, and we'll record it.
Yeah, we started Ada in jujitsu, and it's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
Or
them.
So we started, what it was, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And the one practice thing is like they grab their gi and they do like this yanking motion. And she's
She's go
the
back and forth.
Yeah,
back and forth.
she's the youngest kid. It's 4 to 8, but she's the only 4-year-old for sure.
That's a crazy age range.
Yeah, it is. But she's paired up with, she has to be 8 or close to
Yeah,
it.
maybe 7 or 8. Yeah. Cute as a
And
button, this little girl. Such a good teacher.
3 feet taller than Ada. And they said, okay, go. And Ada just starts going, pop, pop. Just punching.
Wailing on her.
No. That's not what you do.
Don't stop till you see blood, Ada.
She's going to kill it, though. She's going to do so good.
I just love that she's going to learn so much discipline. And like, to me, jujitsu, and maybe I'm wrong, this is my first experience with it, but it seems like a very like kind of peaceful form of martial arts in that you're just trying to disarm your opponent and get ahead of them.
It translates to the gentle art.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You totally made that up.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
As you're getting choked out.
Not so gentle.
But
Arms getting snapped.
she's obviously never seen this before. Josh and I are going, oh my gosh, there's so much we haven't taught her, because they're like, do jumping jacks. And she's like, watching them.
She's just
like,
going.
she's literally doing this. We're like, obviously we've never shown her
So doing
jumping jacks.
YMCA. No.
You never think about that. Like,
Yeah.
we know what jumping jacks are, but my 4-year-old daughter, she does not. We
Yeah, I
just
mean,
never
like,
taught her.
you're like, when did we learn about jumping jacks?
Yeah, okay. I had to fact check myself because that put me in a panic. Jiu-jitsu derives from the Japanese ju meaning gentle and jitsu meaning art.
Oh,
Jew.
Gentle fart, more like it.
Gentle
watch
juice.
it, watch it.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Oh.
But it's really cute. And then we're like, Ada, what do you think? Do you like this? Like, do you want to keep coming back? And she said, that was really crazy.
I'm so glad she's loving it, though. That's so fun.
I know.
I want to do some type of martial arts.
Dude, I did
Dude,
too.
let's do
Let's do
jiu-jitsu.
boxing. They do boxing in the mall.
They do.
They do it at this
Yeah.
place too. Yeah.
I saw a fight in the mall. That tripped me out. I was walking through and I was
Like
like,
a fist fight?
no, like
Oh, like a
in
boxing.
but in
I was
the
like,
gym,
what?
but like people were like poured out of the
Yeah.
thing in chairs, like watching a.
They
and
do
I was
live
like,
events every now and
Yeah,
then.
I was like, that's not sparring. I was like,
At Lake Square?
yeah.
I went and talked to the
It's the dirtiest mall.
That mall.
I know, it's so
is a
quiet, but that
fever
place is
dream.
always like packed like with people in it.
There's
Just the
probably
boxing
like
place.
what is it, like illegal gambling happening
Oh,
at
There-
Lake
for
Square?
dude,
sure.
There's so much crazy stuff happening in there.
Dude, first of all, I saw a video. This is the best part of our future. They are fighting. You remember BattleBots? Like
Yeah.
those little
Yeah,
tiny
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Now they're having full on human robots fighting, boxing.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, this is the new sport.
Is
We
it the-
have to do this.
There's a movie about that with Hugh Jackman in it, isn't there?
Oh yeah, but it's like big, like ginormous
Yeah.
ones. But I'm like now, like I'm seeing an actual person now. They're doing it in China. I'm like, I want to see this on every street corner now.
That's pretty rad.
That'd be so fun.
Speaking of rad, half episode! Actually, just another episode right after this on Patreon. Patreon.com/ninjas or butterflies.
Yeah, we're gonna continue this conversation and have a lot more fun. You just gotta hop on over there. You can cancel anytime. It's super cheap. You get discount codes on merch. You get an extra episode. You get an early episode every single week.
Ad free,
baby. It's so much fun. You gotta get on there. Behind the scenes footage and everything.
But on Patreon, I am going to talk about a Florida cryptid, and it's the wildest Florida cryptid I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. It's the craziest looking thing.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This will be good. Make
And,
sure you get some merch if you want some Sunday Cool Ninjas or Butterflies merch. SundayCoolSwag.com. And it's all there. We've restocked a ton of merch, and so it's all up there. And guys, we're doing a couple live shows in the fall.
Yes.
You can see us in person at a comedy club doing a whole show with Anthony Russo from Bible's Funny.
Half the tickets have sold already, so you better get on it.
Go to
Tampa and Orlando.
Yep.
Go to ninjasofbutterflies.com, and it's all the information is there for Patreon, for our merch, and for the tour. We love you.
Do it.
So much.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Wait, what are they commenting?
Dumbest way they got hurt.
Yeah.
All right.
In one sentence, tell us the dumbest way you've gotten hurt.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
What you're about to see may disturb you.
Dominoes! If any of you know what these multi-decade UAP dolphins are aliens,
Bottlenose. Fish sticks. There's a massive police response.
the dolphin thing.
Aliens.
Dolphin style!